How's it going, guys? Bastians Goofy. Better get right into the video. So this video is about Freeway Rick. Now I'll show an image in a second, but we're gonna be talking about this kid right here. Real simple. This kid's talking about. We'll just use him as an example for the generalization of kids. All right, who their parents become druggies or whatever. All right. So he's hating on drug dealers. Now I got no quarrel with that, but the way that he goes about it is that he says the most. Not the best answer to things. He talks about killing all the drug dealers with guns. Well, that's real dumb. And we'll get into that in a second. First, let me show you who Freeway Rick is. So this is Freeway Rick. Now you better get used to this name because two reasons. I'm about to educate y'all. Or actually, I'm just giving you the information. You can confirm it yourself. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to educate yourselves. You can't just believe anything anybody says. You actually got to go do your research. But let's keep going. So the reason this guy is so important, let me just make it real simple. He was in that huge scandal with the United States, the actual president and government. We're talking about CIA and President George Bush. George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan selling cocaine in the United States. Now, back in the 80s, 90s, even the 60s, there was a big scandal. The news found out that the government was selling illegal drugs. Even though they were supposed to prevent drugs from coming in, they were actually part of the deal and working with criminals, etc. Furthermore, they were working with the Contras and Iraq. So there was a whole huge scandal all over the news. It came everywhere. And basically, there were hostages, etc. The main point is, it was a whole crap show. Because the main story is, the government was doing illegal stuff. That includes the CIA and the presidents. Like I said, George Bush at the time and Ronald Reagan. So you're asking, what the heck is Freeway Rick? Why are we talking about him? Well, it's real simple. He was the drug dealer. The biggest cocaine dealer at the time in the United States. Bringing it here. So that's why he's important. Let's get into it. So let's get to what that kid was saying about what would he do with drug dealers.
When I get big and get a lot of money, that I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of guns and just kill all the drug dealers,
Kind of like the United States government feel.
Yeah.
That they can just lock up all the drug dealers and the problem will go away. It won't happen.
How much did that bother you at one point to think that there's kids like this all over the country?
Well, that's the reason I quit.
Okay.
Because I felt that I was a hypocrite because I didn't want my mom to use drugs. I didn't want my brother to use drugs, but I was selling to everybody else's family. And I got away with it because of who I was, because I was so strong and so powerful. And that, like he said, that he was a little kid, he couldn't really do anything about it. Not that I believe what he's saying to do about it is the right thing to do, because that won't help the problem. Drugs is a medical problem. It's not a legal problem. It's not a incarceration problem. You can't lock your way out of it. You can't kill your way out of it, because if he killed all the dope dealers around, his mom is going to create another one. She likes drug dealers. She likes to get high. And we have to start dealing with those issues and not picking out somebody who may be exploiting the situation and say, you know what, you're the cause of this. So once you know that, and then you can't go blaming people. What you have to do is help your people. He has to find a way to get through to his mom, to show her love, to show her reasons why she should quit. Because I had people that I had to do the same thing. Even though I sold drugs, I still had people that got hooked on drugs that I had to help get off of drugs.
So back to what I was saying, guys. That's actually how you solve issues. You find out the source, the true source, not what people, when they're angry, when they're upset, when they have other motives, like the government wanted to make money. That is a true fact, 1,000%. There's evidence everywhere, even on the news. So their motive was they wanted a scapegoat. They use at that time in the 80s or 90s. That's why there was a big crack deal, and they said the black people did it, or Freeway Rick, this guy right here. When actually this deal has been going on with the Contras and the Iraq and whoever had the cocaine long before this guy was even born. He just happened to get big, and be the poster child, if that makes sense to y'all. So again, the only way you can solve, let's say, the drug issue is that people need to stop liking drugs, man. They need to stop getting addicted. They need to stop liking that and quitting that. I mean, it's no different from a fat guy who loves food. If you eat too much food, it can kill you. It's bad for you. And what happens when there's a fat guy and there's no restaurants? You shut down all the restaurants. It's the same thing. The fat guy's gonna he's gonna make a restaurant open so he can be served. He's willing to give his money away to anyone giving him his fix, whatever. There's no difference. So the main truth is, everyone has their issues, whether it's as easy as food, addicting as food, or spending habits, being a drug dealer, cricket cop that likes money, or government or CIA, it don't matter. The main thing is you got to solve your problems or your people's problems. Because believe it or not, there are some, and I'm talking about very few people, that actually don't have huge problems like that. They have small ones, but they still have to work on them. Probably a small, minor problem is like they like to clean their clothes a lot. I don't know. That's not really a big deal compared to like a guy eating too much, or a guy that just wants money, or a person that just wants to steal and kill, whatever. No difference. Anyways, guys, I'm Bastians Goofy. Just want to share this with y'all. And again, educate yourselves if you're interested. If you're not, then at least hear from wise people. And don't just hear from one source unless you got to educate yourself. All right, guys. Thank y'all. Y'all have a nice day. And thank y'all for your time. May God bless you. And may you live with some passion. Thank you.